Welcome to Swinger University, your horizontal enrichment program. Lessons that make you hot for teacher all over again. Here are your hosts, Ed and Phoebe.
Hi, this is Ed.
And this is Phoebe.
We're recording episode 4, day 3 of the Bliss Cruise.
Yes, so excited.
This is the 4th or 5th time we've attempted to record this particular episode. We went and had some dinner. We're going to try again. Here we go.
Yesterday, after we spent time at the pool with our friends, there was a all girls or all women meet and greet. Started off at the bar, drinks, conversation. Topless Travel was there, and some of the representatives were there, and they were there with their toys, dildos, strap-ons, rainbow dildo, vibrators, one called the snail, and the other one,
Fantasy for Her.
Yes. And so I immediately put out a text to Ed and said, look these up, because I might need these. So they were getting passed around in the bar, and it was creating quite the stir because people were anxious to really try them out, because we were just pseudo trying them out on like our leg or our arm or our hand.
Fondling the devices.
Yes. So the vibe and the energy was great in the room with all women. It was really something special. Then we all went down to the Playroom, and within 5 minutes, people started getting busy. And I don't know if everyone knew each other or half of them knew each other, but women don't mess around.
Apparently, it's just straight to business.
It was straight to business. It was awesome. I sat in the back for a while and watched, because it was something definitely to take in and see. I'd never been in an all women playroom, so it was wonderful to just be an observer for a little while. The energy in the room is almost indescribable, because it's so different from a regular playroom.
Right.
I'm not sure how to put words to it, but it was so wonderful.
Well, you were describing there were women in the room, and this is not uncommon, who were hard comers. And you had described, and I'd heard another woman describe, that the room was cheering when they finally achieved orgasm.
Oh, yes.
So it was like a group effort.
This is like, oh my God. This comparison's not sexy at all, but it reminds me of, oh my gosh. You know how way back when women used to gather to do sew quilts together?
Right.
And that sense of community of women and bonding. Right. That's what it felt like, but over sex.
With dildos.
And dildos.
Yes. I'm way more into dildos than
right.
Quilts,
so we've elevated. We've come from gathering together, making quilts, to gathering together for our own pleasure.
Yes.
Oh.
So much better.
It was wonderful. It was great. The play went on for about good 20, 30 minutes before Topless Travel came back down with the toys, and they had a whole station set up with the toys and a place to clean them, and they brought their own music, and so women got to try these toys out, and so we got to observe and cheer, and it was fabulous. They're gonna have another one, so I can't wait. I can't wait to go back. So I didn't play until I was about ready to leave. And then this beautiful brunette walked up to me and said, "You're not leaving yet, are you?" And I said, "Well, I guess not." So she led me to the bed, and we had a very fabulous time. She was very soft and sensual, and this woman was just top notch. She was amazing. It was a fabulous experience.
Yeah, you had described it as being very sensual and touching, and it wasn't like straight to action. It was more like lots of buildup and lots of sensory.
She had a technique, and I really liked it. Really liked it, and it was great. So this kind of set up the date for later in the evening, because the woman is the gate to the pair, right? So if the women connect, usually that connection also gets to follow through naturally. It tends to follow through with the man, not always, but so, and that's what happened later in the night. We were able to get together with her and her husband, and we had a play session in the playroom.
Yeah, it was fun.
Later. Yeah.
We had a
So
good time.
it was fabulous. It was fabulous. So then after the girls meet and greet, which I highly recommend if you're ever on a Bliss cruise and they have it again, you need to do it.
Or any place.
Yes. Dinner. We went and let's see. We got dressed up.
We were preparing for dinner, so
Yes.
it's all that glitters or all that
Yes.
sparkles. I can't remember the name.
Yes.
I was dressed in a nice suit, and Phoebe was dressed in the dress,
Oh yeah.
the infamous dress,
Yes. I love
the
that dress.
notorious dress. Everybody loves this dress. I love this dress. And
It's very unique. It got a lot of comments.
yes,
It was so fun.
completely see-through, the sparkly Victoria's Secret panties that have the rhinestones on the hips, so you could see those through the dress. It was amazing. It was so amazing, in fact, that when Phoebe stepped out of our cabin into the hallway,
Oh my God.
one of the LLV girls that is staying next to us, so Luxury Lifestyle Vacations, for those of you who don't know, came out at the same time. They locked eyes, and
We screamed, actually. Oh my God. You
Yeah.
look so gorgeous. We
It was
complimented each
lust
other
at first
excessively.
sight.
It was awesome. It was so funny. I don't know what it was about it, that energy sometimes that you have with certain people. And we walked out the door. It was at the same time, and then we just snapped our heads and looked at each other, and she looked amazing and I looked amazing, and we just went blah! And then I'm hugging her and she's hugging me, and then we're kissing, and then we're taking her down the hall to
I walked out the door and got kissed too. It was fantastic.
Oh, did you?
I was like,
See, I already
surprise.
forgot about that.
I could see why. She was quite stunning.
I was blissed out. Oh my gosh, this woman.
Yeah, so we took the elevator down with her, and she continued to give us kisses occasionally. And
Oh my gosh, she's so great.
Phoebe had lipstick on her bosom, if I remember right.
Oh yes,
from her.
Lipstick marks. Yep.
And then we invited her to hang out with us if her particular group wasn't as exciting, and we'd be happy to entertain her.
Yeah, twist my arm.
She said, "If I knock on your door later, you should open it." Of course, Phoebe and I looked at each other. Why wouldn't we?
Right.
She didn't knock. We are still hoping that one of these nights she will come knocking on our door. I suspect she was.
Well, I have to wait for her because she is working, so I don't want to interrupt her.
We can't interrupt her work schedule, but
her sleep, so I have to be respectful.
But she can interrupt our work schedule
anytime. So that was fun. And then, oh my gosh. Then we went to dinner, networked with more couples, met a fabulous couple from Utah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So
friends
Ed,
of friends.
yes. Talk about the Utah swinger community.
Yeah. So some close friends of ours had met them on a cruise years ago, and they lived in Utah. And so anytime they're driving through Utah, they always stop by and say hi. So they introduced us when we were at the bar. What's fascinating is Utah, for those of you who do not know this, is a fairly conservative state. That's a mild understatement to say that they're fairly conservative. What's interesting, though, is that there's according to them, a huge underground swinging community. They describe 2 to 3 house parties a week. So,
mind blown.
Yeah, mind blown, ultra conservative state, totally repressed. So the only thing I can figure is the more you repress people, the more they will find ways to get out.
Yeah.
And break the rules because they're just you just can't contain people's natural energies.
Yeah. And usually when they break break way off.
Yeah. I described it as like one of those stress balls. And you squeeze it, and what happens when you squeeze it really hard? It like shoots out the top and the bottom.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
Swinger community is huge there, which brings me to the real important lesson here. Networking is critical.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't have clubs or you don't have hotel takeovers or you don't have anything that's publicly advertised,
right?
How are you going to find out about this stuff? Well, you're going to have to meet another couple, and then they're going to tell you about their friends, and they're going to tell you about their friends, and you start building your community, and then you hear about a house party, and then you get there.
Right. And it's more underground than our area, because our area in Sacramento, parties will get published on SLS or Cassidy.
Right.
House parties will. But there, they do not at all. In fact, these people went as far as to say that when they want to hold a house party, they really struggle at trying to pick who they're going to invite, because they know so many people. They don't want anyone to feel excluded, and yet they can't open their house up to 50 people because, one, they don't really want to, or they don't live in an area where it could be more on the down low, right? So they have to be a little cautious, and so they struggle with
having 25 cars show up on your block kind of throws a red flag on the neighborhood,
especially on a regular basis.
Right.
So I was fascinated by just how many choices they have. They're like a Rolodex full of people they could just pick for the party. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah, it sounded great. And it was encouraging to hear that, even if you did live in a more, remote rural area, that there's still opportunity to experience the lifestyle. So it's great. And we love hearing stories about that, how people are working the system.
Yeah. I'd love to hear more feedback from people that are in other states like Arizona or North Carolina, South Carolina. Or Oklahoma. There's a few of those like middle states that are saying, well, at least several years ago, probably a good 7-8 years ago, that there really wasn't anything around, which is why they'd always go to the resorts or to the cruises. Yeah,
and I'd heard the same thing about Virginia. And I'm trying to think of it. Yeah, no, it was Virginia. I had a coworker who moved out there, and we'd considered, because housing was fairly inexpensive at the time. And I looked and I asked questions of a few people, and they're like, "Oh no, there was nothing, no swing scene there," which of course immediately threw that off the market.
We're like, "Oh, can't move there."
Nope.
After dinner, let's say we went. Oh, they had a party.
Yeah.
In the main promenade. Again, I love it. I love these parties in the promenade. So great.
DJ, dancing, lots of photographs. We took tons of photographs.
Yes, by those professional photographers.
Yeah, and that's another tip for the cruise. They have backdrops, and flash photography and the whole nine. Basically, it's like school pictures, professional photography. And it's great now because they're all on a kiosk and they key in your room number. And so you can go look at your pictures anytime you want.
Oh, we should go do that.
Yeah, we do need to go do that.
Yeah.
About midweek, and we start picking our favorites and things like that.
Yes.
But what's cool this time is it's all digital. So you don't have to go through like a wall of actual printed photographs. They're not printing them out like they were before. You had to paw through them and find the ones that you wanted.
Yep.
So it's kind of way better.
Yes. During that dance, we ran into the owners of LLV.
Yeah, we were introduced by
Another LLV. Oh, actually, I think it was our
midnight visitor that has yet to
right.
happen.
Rob's gonna say roommate, but she's not quite the roommate, but she's right next door.
Yeah,
and her friend, who instantly gave me
She's
the
like-
same greeting, but even better
it
because
was plus 100.
yeah, because first I got.
She kissed you.
Did she kiss me first, or did she? No, she went for the nipple
Yeah,
first.
she just pulled your top.
She pulled my top aside and went.
and she said, "May I?"
I don't even remember that.
She asked me permission. I said,
Yes.
"Yes, please."
It was all a blur. I was like, ah. And so all of a sudden, I'm getting my nipple sucked in the middle of the promenade by a hot, sexy woman.
Right.
Another hot, sexy woman. So, yeah, that was super fabulous. And then, of course, I got to kiss her and you got to kiss her. And then we got to meet the owners. And I didn't even know I met the owners and because it was all a blur and my
It
head
happened
went
so fast.
spinning. And this is the stuff that you talk about, that we talk about, you know, when you're playing with someone, you're not high on alcohol or drugs, but you get this adrenaline rush or all the other hormonal
Right.
rushes. I'm at loss for words right now because I'm so excited thinking about it.
Dopamine.
It just starts to flood your system and you just go.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know I remembered I met them.
And this is just this
One.
escalating girl thing that Phoebe's been. She's on this roller coaster right now, going up
I am. So
with all these girl
So
experiences.
from the playroom to the neighbor next door to the other, yeah. So we'll see what happens by the end of the week. It's going to be kind of interesting.
It's been interesting so far.
It's been really fun. It's been really fun. Oh, and then after that, after the dancing, then we went to the playroom with our friends, and we had a fabulous time. And after that, it was basically bedtime.
Yeah.
Because we were in port the next day, and
We wanted to get a little bit of extra sleep because we docked at 8:30, 9-ish, and it's hard to get up that early when you've been up till 2
Yes.
or later.
yes,
So we tried to be good swingers and get
Yep.
some rest for the next day.
and so we got up, and we went to town.
San Martin.
Yep, and got in a taxi and tootled around the island and learned a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
I know, a lot of history. I really liked our guide.
Colonialism, slavery, plantations,
Yeah,
all kinds of crazy stuff.
yeah, it was interesting.
It's a fascinating island. We did hit one beach and ran into Tiff and Rachel.
Yep. It was so funny because everywhere we go, they're there, and I would go,
Like every time.
I'm sorry, we're not really stalking you. It's just,
Of course, she
Look
said
over.
she loved stalkers, so there you go.
oh, okay, well, okay. We'll try a little harder then.
But this beach was crazy because, and I guess it's a thing. Like people go to this beach specifically because there's a runway that runs right up to the
Oh,
road,
that's right, yeah.
which runs right up to the beach. And these are small roads. This is like a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
And the runway is at like head height. You're kind of
Yeah.
at the same level as the runway. So these jets land low over the beach. As a matter of fact, our driver was telling us the chain link fence that separates the road from the runway was
to be
actually used to be a 6-foot fence, but now it's a 4-foot fence because a French airline at some point hit
Took it
it
out.
with the landing gear and tore it out, and they just decided to leave it short. That's how low these planes are flying.
I know.
And what's funny is as he's telling us this story, there's a plane coming in, and we're in a passenger van. And I'm going, we're taller than 4 feet.
But I saw him hurry.
Yes, he did move us off of the road, and he's like, oh, I've got a few minutes before they get here.
Yeah, you already knew. That's how.
But yeah, it was it's a wild and crazy thing. So if you want to get blown on a beach, that is
Oh.
one place to go.
Oh.
It's not the good kind of blown, though.
Oh.
It's more of like sand blasted by a jet engine.
Yes. All right, sexy people, we're going to sign off and we will give you another update tomorrow. Oh, but before we go, tonight is glow night, so we'll
Yes,
tell
we're gonna
you all about that.
Get our glow on.
Yeah.
Although it's been raining on and off, a little tropical storm thing.
And it's supposed to be outside,
So we'll see.
so we'll see what happens. Worst case, they bring it inside and maybe they don't have as many glow lights, but they'll have to
Actually, the promenade's fully lit up with black lights too, so
That's
who
true.
knows? Maybe they'll just reconfigure.
As long as they smash people together, I'm happy.
We'll find out tonight, and you'll find out tomorrow.
Before you turn off our podcast to take care of all the vanilla things pulling you away, please reach out and give us a review. I am the first to admit that it's much easier to give a 5-star rating, which we appreciate, but if you could take 43 seconds to type a review, we would love it. If you want to share a personal story, ask us questions, or share your comments, you can contact us at swingeruniversity@gmail.com. Check us out at swingeruniversity.com, where you can find links to our Twitter and Instagram feeds. Thank you so much for listening to Swinger University, your horizontal enrichment podcast.